He had built things his whole life. Tables, doors, coffins. He knew the weight of wood that would carry a dead man. He knew how to measure it, cut it, smooth the edges so the family wouldn't splinter their hands when they lifted it. He had made 17 of them. He remembered every one. What he did not know, what kept him awake on the cold hillside above Nazareth, staring at a sky that gave nothing back, was whether any of it meant anything at all. "Are you there?" The wind moved through the olives. That was all. "Because I am going today to a woman whose son is dying. And I need to know before I go. Because if you are not there, if this is all just wood and dust and good intentions, then I am about to destroy the last thing she has left. Her hope. And I will have taken it with my bare hands." Silence. He had been hearing that silence his entire life. From the moment the whispers started in Nazareth, "The boy is different, something is wrong with the boy, his father says things, strange things." He had been waiting for an answer that never came in the shape he expected. He pressed his fists against the rock beneath him. "I built your tables. I carried your wood. I have given everything I have, and I am standing at the edge of something I cannot cross alone. Show me." The sky did not open. No voice. No fire. No hand reaching down from the clouds like the old stories promised. Just cold air and the smell of earth, and, far below in the valley, the first smoke of morning fires beginning to rise. He came down from the hill with nothing. The man was sitting at the edge of the road like something the night had left behind. Broad shoulders. Stonemason's hands. The kind of stillness that doesn't come from peace, it comes from a man who has been very loud inside for so long that he has simply run out. He didn't look up when Jesus stopped. "They say you heal people. Some say that. I don't believe it." Jesus sat down beside him. Not across. Beside. Back against the same wall, looking at the same empty road. "Tell me your name." "Matthias." "What happened to you?" A long silence. Then flat, stripped of everything, "My wife. 3 months ago. Her and the child both. The child never breathed." He stopped. Something moved across his face and was gone. Her name was Miriam. That was all he said. Her name was Miriam. And somehow those 4 words carried everything: the laugh Jesus would never hear, the mornings Matthias would never have, the third child who never got to be a person, all of it compressed into 4 words like a stone dropped into still water. "Where was God?" Matthias said. Not angry. Worse. Empty. When it happened. When I was standing in that room and there was nothing I could do. Where was the plan everyone keeps telling me about? Show me the plan. Jesus looked at him. And then he put his face in his hands. Not in prayer. In grief. "I asked that same question," he said quietly. "This morning, on that hill." He nodded toward the ridge above them. "I asked whether he is there. Whether any of this is real. Whether I am." He stopped himself. Then, lower, "I came down here with no answer." Matthias stared at him. "You? Me? Then what good are you?" It hit him like cold water. What good are you? The question every carpenter knows. You measure wrong, the joint doesn't hold, the table collapses, and someone looks at you and asks the only question that matters, what good are you? And in that moment, not before, not after, but in the sharpest point of that question, something happened. It started in his chest. Not warmth. Something older than warmth. A pressure, like the moment before thunder, like the instant before a wave hits, and then it broke through him, down his arms, into his hands, and his hands. His hands began to shake. Not from cold. He looked at them. The same calluses. The same scar on the left thumb from a chisel that slipped when he was 17. The same hands that had smoothed 17 coffin lids. But they were alive in a way they had never been before. And he understood not in words, in something beneath words, that the answer had not come on the hill. It came here. It came through this man's grief. I put you in the question because the question is the door. And now. He looked at Matthias. Now you know. Give me your hands, Jesus said. I'm not sick. I know. I'm not blind. I'm not. I know what you are. His voice was different now. Not louder. Heavier. Give me your hands. Matthias looked at him for a long moment. Something in the eyes, not authority, not certainty, but the rawness of a man who has just been broken open, made him extend his hands. Jesus took them. He did not close his eyes. He did not perform. He pressed his thumbs into the center of Matthias's palms and held them there, and when he spoke it was barely a whisper, one man talking to something vast and close at the same time. This man loved. He lost. He kept waking up. Give him back something. Not what is gone. Something that belongs to what comes next. And then Matthias felt it enter him. Not fire. Not lightning. Not the blinding white of stories embellished over decades. A warmth that had no source. It moved up through his hands, into his wrists, into the locked place behind his sternum that had been clenched shut for 3 months like a fist around nothing, and it opened. He made a sound he didn't mean to make. His shoulders dropped. He hadn't known. He had been carrying them at the height of a man braced for impact for so long he had forgotten they were supposed to be lower. They dropped 2 inches and he felt the difference, like setting down a stone he'd been holding since the night Miriam died. What did you do? He whispered. Something was given to me this morning on that hill, Jesus said. His voice was unsteady. And I passed it on. That is all I know. Matthias pulled his hands back slowly, pressed them to his own chest. She's still gone, he said. Yes. I still don't know why. No. A long silence. Then Matthias looked at him, really looked, the way you look at someone when you are trying to understand what they are. You don't either. No, I don't either. Matthias nodded. Once. Slow. Then why, he said, does it feel like I can breathe? Jesus looked at the valley below. At the smoke rising from 100 morning fires, each one a family, each one a grief he would never fully know, each one a darkness God had chosen to enter rather than watch from above. Because you are not alone in it anymore, he said. He stood. Looked down at his hands one final time, these hands that had built tables and smoothed coffins and now carried something he still didn't have a name for. Neither am I. He walked toward the village. Matthias stayed on the road. The sun cleared the ridge and the warmth hit his face, and a child ran past chasing a dog and laughing at nothing, and Matthias watched. He did not laugh. Not yet. But the watching did not hurt. And for a man who had spent 3 months unable to look at the world without flinching, that was everything. They will write about the water turned to wine. The dead who walked out of their tombs. The storms told to be silent. They will not write about the stonemason on the road outside Nazareth. But he remembered it until the day he died. The morning a man sat beside him in the dirt, admitted he had no answers, and somehow, in the not knowing, gave him back the will to stand. Some miracles split the sea. Some miracles are quieter than that. And cut just as deep.